one of those nights when the rain refused to stop. The kind that slams against your windows with such force that it sounds less like water and more like fingers clawing to get in. I was driving home from work late, my headlights cutting through sheets of rain, the wipers barely able to keep up. The air smelled of wet asphalt and pine, and the wind carried a strange weight, as if the storm had dragged something unnatural down with it. I live in a quiet rural town in Pennsylvania, a place where the nights are so dark you sometimes feel like the world beyond your headlights doesn't exist. The rain made everything worse, swallowing sound and smothering light. It was around 11:45 p.m. when I decided to take the old back road, Route 217, a shortcut I usually avoided at night. But I wanted to get home quickly. My mistake. The first odd thing happened near the bridge. The old iron bridge over Mill Creek was rusted and crooked, something the town kept promising to replace but never did. As I approached it, I saw what looked like a figure standing at the far end. At first I thought it was just my eyes playing tricks in the rain. A person out here, in this weather, made no sense. But as I got closer, the figure became clearer. A woman in a long, pale dress, completely drenched, her dark hair sticking to her face. She wasn't moving, wasn't even flinching under the downpour. I slowed the car, heart pounding. My first instinct was to stop and offer help, but something deep inside me screamed not to. Her head lifted slowly, and even through the rain, I could see her eyes reflecting in the beam of my headlights. They were hollow, not like a reflection you'd see in an animal's eyes, but like two empty sockets glistening with water. My stomach turned to ice. I pressed the accelerator, crossing the bridge faster than I should have. As I passed her, I forced myself not to look, but my peripheral vision betrayed me. She wasn't just standing anymore. She was turned, watching me pass, her mouth stretched into something too wide, too unnatural to be human. When I reached the other side, I glanced in the rearview mirror. The bridge was empty. By the time I got home, the rain had soaked me to the bone just from the walk from the car to the porch. I remember fumbling with my keys, my hands shaking so badly I almost dropped them. The house was dark, quiet, except for the rain hammering the roof. I locked the door behind me and leaned against it, trying to convince myself it was nothing, just exhaustion, just my imagination. But then the noises started. At first, it was subtle, the sound of water dripping somewhere inside the house, though I knew every window was shut tight. Then, faint footsteps upstairs, as if someone was walking slowly, deliberately. I live alone. My chest tightened as I stood in the living room, staring at the ceiling. The footsteps stopped. I tried to shake it off, turned on the TV for background noise, and made myself some tea. The warmth of the mug in my hands helped steady me. But then I saw it. The wet footprints. They began at the front door, just behind me, and trailed across the hardwood floor toward the hallway. Bare, human footprints. My teacup slipped from my hands and shattered on the floor. I didn't move. I didn't breathe. I just stared at those prints, glistening as though freshly made, the water soaking into the floorboards. Slowly, they disappeared around the corner. Gathering every ounce of courage, I followed them. My heart hammered in my ears louder than the storm outside. The prints led me to the base of the stairs, but then they stopped. The air was freezing there, colder than the rest of the house. I felt it in my lungs, sharp and painful with every breath. And then, from upstairs, came the sound of weeping. It was soft at first, like someone muffling their cries with their hands. But it grew louder, more desperate, echoing down the stairwell. A woman's voice, choked with sorrow and rage. "Get out," she whispered between sobs. My knees nearly buckled. I wanted to run, to fling the door open and leave everything behind, but my body wouldn't move. I was rooted there, staring into the darkness above. And then, she appeared. At the top of the stairs stood the same drenched woman from the bridge. Her dress clung to her thin frame, dripping puddles onto the carpet. Her hair draped across her face, but through the strands, I could see her eyes. Black, hollow pits like rainwater filling an empty skull. She tilted her head unnaturally, her neck cracking with the motion. "Why didn't you stop?" she hissed. I stumbled back, gasping for air, clutching the wall to keep from collapsing. Her voice didn't sound human. It was layered, as though more than one person was speaking through her, overlapping tones of anger and grief. I bolted into the kitchen, fumbling for the back door, but when I threw it open, the rain outside roared louder, almost deafening. And standing just beyond the threshold was another figure. A man this time. He was drenched too, his skin pale, lips blue, his eyes rolled back. He lurched forward but didn't step inside. Instead, he raised a trembling hand and pointed back into the house. I spun around. The woman was gone from the stairs. The silence that followed was worse than the sounds. My chest was heaving, my vision tunneling. I could feel her still, her presence pressing down on me, suffocating. That night, I didn't sleep. I sat in the living room with every light on, clutching a kitchen knife like it could protect me from whatever that thing was. The weeping returned around 3 a.m., this time closer, echoing through the walls as if she was everywhere at once. The lights flickered, the storm outside growing stronger, and I knew. She wasn't just some ghost haunting the road. She had followed me. She was inside. By dawn, the noises stopped. The rain eased into a mist. My house smelled like damp earth and mildew, though I couldn't find any source. The footprints were gone, the doors still locked. Everything looked normal, but nothing felt normal. For weeks after, every rainy night brought her back. Sometimes I'd hear her crying in the attic. Sometimes I'd see her reflection in the windows, even when I was standing far away. Once, I woke up to find my bed soaked, as if I'd been sleeping underwater. The sheets were drenched, the mattress ruined. I started researching. Old town records, urban legends, anything that could explain her. That's when I found it. In 1972, a woman named Evelyn Hart was killed on that very bridge during a storm, just like the one I'd driven through. She'd been in a car accident. Her vehicle skidded off the slick iron bridge into the creek below. Witnesses claimed they could hear her screaming for help, but the water rose too fast. By the time rescuers pulled her out, it was too late. Some said she still haunted the bridge, waiting for someone to stop, to help, though no one ever survived an encounter with her. And now, she was here. It's raining tonight as I record this. The storm has been building all day, and I can already hear her weeping upstairs. The lights are flickering again. My front door just creaked open, though I know I locked it. If you're hearing this, if my voice reaches you, please, whatever you do, if you see her on a rainy night, don't stop. Don't look at her. Don't let her follow you home, because once she chooses you, she never leaves.